Hey y'all, how's it going? I didn't quite hit my 8 p.m. deadline tonight. I just realized it's 4:20. Those things are unrelated. I just looked out at my my monitor and date and time. It doesn't really matter. All of my days are the same. All of my days are the same. So, yeah. Don't even have any weed to smoke if I wanted to. So yeah. Hi, I'm Milkman L. Welcome. It is not hump day. It's usually hump day when I'm talking to you in the middle of the week. But today, we're going to be talking about the Benadryl challenge, which is up there with the dumbest things that I've heard of, and also doing some Path of Exile in-game. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Along the way, we will also talk about other dumb things to do with over-the-counter medications. Yep, you can do lots of dumb shit with meds, because even though you can buy them freely, they're still medications. Welcome. Hopefully you guys have had a great week so far. Like I said, all of my days pretty much are the same, and they run together. I've been on vacation, but taking care of a 4.5-month-old, so it's been okay. Can't complain. So, yeah. On Path of Exile front, this is going well. I almost have all of the blight nodes that I want. Oh, except this. I forgot these. Blight monsters take increased damage. Oh yeah, I skipped that for a reason. I don't really need that, but it might be nice to have. I've forgotten what all these nodes do. Some more maps with blight options, blight crafting option. Cool. Yeah, so I'll basically be using blight scarabs, so I'll always have a blight in my map. I don't think the chance for blight is really all that useful. Might branch out and start getting all this abyss stuff, if at all possible. I've got all these points in abyss, and I have had a grand total of 1 Stygian Spire in this whole league. And granted, I haven't done like a ton of maps, but I mean, done most of them. I think I have most of my completion. Yeah. So, yeah, not sure how much good those do, but I have found a lot of really cool jewels though. So that's nice. I like all of the corrupted jewels. It's super cool. That is a career axe. Let's see. Is that the big one? Oh no, it's not. Oh well, I picked it up, so all I did. Why not? Yep. Yeah, build's going great. I am fairly tanky, not quite as tanky as I would like, I guess. But I'm working on that. I think I'm kind of at the stage where I've got access to like in-game gear and stuff. And I've started doing that. Yeah, as you can see, I can take punishment pretty good. This is a tier 14, I think? Maybe tier 13. But I sort of just half-assedly stood in that hail of fire and did fine. So yeah, pretty solid build so far. I'm happy with it. I've kind of gotten lucky and picked up a few like really cheap items that have helped me along that I'm still using really, like these gloves, for instance. I actually exalt slammed these. I slammed accuracy rating on them, which for me is a dead node, but for others might not be. So maybe when I turn around to sell them, that might actually add some value. Drinking a stout, practicing for Oski? One of those things sounds great, the other not so much. What stout are you drinking? Stouts are my favorite kind of beer. I feel like you get the most flavor out of them. For show. Peanut butter stout from Whole Foods, huh? Okay. Nice. Can't find a chocolatey one. I was just gonna say, one of my favorite beers that I've ever had, and this might be sort of a, grown-ish comment, Young's Double Chocolate Stout. one of my favorite beers. Love it, man. Delicious. Lots and lots of flavor in that. And actually, a friend of mine, and I think I've probably mentioned on stream that we used to go to this, there was something called the Nano Brew Festival here, which is a bunch of home brewers, like competition home brewers that got together and did a beer fest, basically. And one of my friend who told me about it, who turned me on to it, he every year brewed a chocolate coconut stout that was absolutely out of this world. So good. Like, the coconut was super mild, so it almost tasted kind of like vanilla. So it wasn't like overpowering, but really delicious beer. So yeah, Young's Double Chocolate, very good beer. Death by, yeah, I've had Death by Coconut, and it fits the name. It fits the name. I don't think it's bad necessarily, but there's definitely a lot of coconut. That's actually one of my friends who owns a bar has a, like, he loves that beer, so he always has it stocked. Yeah, it's a good one. You kind of have to be in the mood for that, though. You know, it's sort of like Thai curry. I mean, I guess that's a bad example because that is also coconut, but it's just like a very intense flavor. And if you're like, you know, I'm just not really in the mood for coconut, well, sir, you're gonna be disappointed. Because there's a freaking lot of it. Guess I shouldn't just stand there while I'm getting shot, huh? Yeah, so the title of the stream was inspired by my wife. Is she has become very well versed in TikTok since our daughter was born. That's pretty much like all she does. Not a knock on my wife. She's just like in, you know, holding a baby to sleep all the freaking time. So she has to do something to occupy herself. And with that, she sometimes listens to books, sometimes listens to podcasts, but mostly listens to TikTok is what I gather. And I guess there's a challenge on TikTok called the Benadryl Challenge. And I'm not, like, I'm just sort of disgusted by the notion, but apparently it's just a bunch of kids who take a bunch of Benadryl until they, you know, have psychotropic effects. You went to Cairo school on TikTok? That's basically the same as going to any Cairo school. My wife just texted me and said, "What was that noise?" That's always disconcerting. Fun. Anyway, yeah, so apparently there's a bunch of teenagers taking a shitload of Benadryl. And, that's not smart. It's really not smart. So the reason that's not smart is that Benadryl is actually an anticholinergic. Oh my god, this isn't just gonna go away, is it? I'll be right back. That was fun. Anyway, yeah. So, back to the point. We all know and love Benadryl, right? Everybody uses it pretty frequently for the most part. It's an antihistamine. Works pretty well. Pretty decent drug. So, what a lot of people don't know about it is that it's actually what we refer to as a kind of dirty drug. Which means that it hits a lot of different receptors in your body. Hi, Matt, what's up, dude? You have your white coat ceremony tomorrow and a job interview? No freaking way. Job interview? You're on your way to your dream job? Oh, sir. I don't feel like I had much to do in that path. You did all the work, but thank you nonetheless. Thank you. I'm glad you're happy. Glad you're doing well. That's really cool. Good to hear. Makes me happy. Thanks for stopping in, man. I really appreciate it. That's nice of you to take the time to do that. Very cool. Oh, that's a lot of resistance. Yeah, okay. Flask mana recovery rate. Boo. Well, let's craft some form of energy shield on that and call it a day. How about we do that? Where are you interviewing? If you've got the time. And don't mind mentioning it. It's not in Kansas City, is it? He's not in med school. He's in AA school. And for that's not Alcoholics Anonymous school. That's anesthesiologist assistant school. For the record. Oh shit! Why did I craft evasion rating on there? That is not what I wanted. Evasion and energy shield? No. I just wasted 4 chaos. That was terrible. Why not both? I mean, touche. You got me. Alright. Well, this has nice energy shield. Nice energy shield. Let's see. Oh, that's a lot more valuable than I thought it might be. Okay. Well, that's cool. We'll put it up for a divine and see what it goes for. See how it goes. You see health in Colorado? Nice, man. I actually pretty sure I know somebody who works there. I know there's lots. They obviously have tons of different campuses and stuff, but yeah, I know somebody who works there. Used to work at my hospital, actually. She's super cool. You will like her, assuming you're working with her. Well, cool, man. Very, very, very nice to hear. Like I said. Staves projectiles? Yeah. I'm just gonna keep that around. I like the Baron. That's a cool item. How's the roll? Not great. Yeah, maybe I'll just chuck it unless it's worth something for some reason. Cool. Yeah, I'm glad more people are sort of getting involved in the anesthesiologist assistant path. I think that's a really good way to go. It is a small world, yeah. I can pretty much guarantee you that I will never be at an ASA conference, but sure. I'm not a conference guy. Yeah, the return on investment's awesome for AA. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely is, especially in this climate. Like, anesthesia salaries are just going freaking batshit right now. Have a good night, dude. Take it easy. Thank you again for stopping by. Yeah, it's a nice path, man. Especially if you figure out early that you want to do it, because you know, you can be there. You can make $200,000 when you're 25 years old, or 24 even if you are a little bit early out of college. It's nuts. I wish that was something that I had known about like in high school. I'm not sure that I would have gone that route, because I'm kind of a power junkie, quite frankly. But like it would have been nice to at least know that that was possible. Oh, maps for completion. Where are you? Let's see. I don't want to pay that much, and I've completed those maps anyway. So perhaps it's time for a Kirac mission. So yeah, so Benadryl, it hits a lot of different receptors. Most notably the histamine receptor. So H1. Well, I mean, biochemists, please forgive me. This is going to be a very cursory, probably inexact talk, but how does it affect histamine receptors in your tummy? So it affects histamine receptors in your vomiting center, if that's what you're going for. So your vomiting center has like pretty much receptors for freaking everything, which is really strange. But that's sort of like a lesser known function of Benadryl. One that is actually pretty good at is it's good for nausea. Benadryl is like really good for nausea. But the function, so it's an H1 blocker. So like H1 is, think like allergies, and H2 is like reflux. So like ranitidine is what is that? Pepsid? Yeah, Pepsid is an H2 blocker. So most of the drugs on the market that I can think of have some degree of cross-reactivity. I think Zyrtec is pretty specific for, and Xyzal by extension are pretty selective for H1. But they all kind of mingle together a little bit. H2's the tummy one, yeah. Mm-hmm. But you still can use it. Like if somebody anaphylaxes or has like an allergic reaction in, you know, the operating room, we always give them an H2 blocker just because. You can just say you hit that receptor and cleaned it out. Because it does cross-react a little bit. It's not gonna hurt. Not gonna hurt to try. Alright, that is the undoable blight encounter. Cool. Let's see, what are these? Abyss, Expedition, Corrupted Monsters, Abyss, Monsters, Labyrinth Trial. Yeah, Labyrinth Trial can eat a dick. Oh, Reflect. I reflect, yeah, I have. So, what got this kid, I'll show you the kid, if you haven't heard about this. There's like a 13-year-old who died from taking too much Benadryl. This kid. Which obviously is really sad, but, you know, hopefully kids, you know, you teach your kids to not overdose on medications for fun. I mean, there's only a certain amount of, you know, like, stupid as a stupid does that you can get away with. I mean, it sucks. Like, I'm sorry that this kid died, but, like, dang, dude, don't do that. But what got him, you're scared of taking too much Tylenol, as you should be, and we'll talk about Tylenol. Because that's one that you can kill yourself with. Literally can kill yourself with Tylenol. And a lot of people try to do that for some reason, even though that's a terrible way to go. Anyway. Yeah, so Benadryl is what we call an anticholinergic, which means that it, so for practical purposes, like, that will, increase your gut motility, like your, you know, stomach and bowels and stuff will push things along, but it slows down your urinary system. So if you take a ton of Benadryl, like, chronically, you can stop peeing. Weird as that sounds, or have trouble peeing. But one thing that it also does is it crosses your blood-brain barrier, and Benadryl in particular, that is, not just anticholinergics. And so it can make you hallucinate and like trip, and that's what kids were getting off on. So, it like messes with your mental function basically. So if you want a full like, list of anticholinergic effects, those are very easily Googleable. Old man challenge: is it the Benadryl or my prostate? Exactly. So you never want to give Benadryl to old people because it makes them insane, actually, which is kind of one of those weird things that you just sort of have to learn, and sometimes by doing it and screwing it up, you give an old person on the word Benadryl, like for, whatever, like maybe you think it's gonna like help them sleep, or they have allergies or whatever, and then they just go fucking batshit, like don't know where they are, and, start pulling out lines and stuff. And that's a big problem. But yeah, so it can cause like psychosis basically, but it can also cause like arrhythmias, muscle weakness, basically lots of, like respiratory depression and all sorts of stuff. So I don't know what killed that kid. I haven't read any of the articles, to be perfectly honest. But, most likely it was heart failure. He basically, like, put himself in a heart failure, for one reason or another. Like, had a non-perfusing arrhythmia, like VTAC, or, something like that. Ventricular tachycardia, for those of you who don't know what that means. And then, that's that, pretty much. Because really the only thing that you can do for anticholinergic poisoning is what they call supportive therapy, which basically means treat the symptoms. So if he was, found out or something, there's not really much to be done, if you don't get to him in time. Let's see. I don't need a whole lot of juice to get there. 60% increased effective chill. Wow, that's really good. If you avoid being chilled, that's just like 60% effective chill. Jesus. Okay, well, I might keep this weapon around long enough to get that node. Aw, seriously? Come on, man. So the more you channel that, the stronger these guys are. And they're kind of brutal sometimes. So yeah, he had cholinergic poisoning, and we'll have a look at what that means in full in just a second. I think I just did it. Yeah, nice. Okay. So here's a useful article, very verbose article from the NIH, but so here, let's see. So it's an overdose of compounds with anticholinergic properties, blah blah blah. So yeah, you can use atropine, but clearly nobody at home has atropine available. I mean, I do. I have atropine, but yeah, most people who are going to participate in the Benadryl challenge do not have atropine at home. So this is actually not the one that I wanted. Where was it? We'll just read Medscape. It's good. Good enough. So this is all mydriasis, means blown pupils, basically. So altered mental status, which means you go nuts. Fever. So sinus tach, and like I said, urinary retention, functional ileus, slows your bowels down. Oh yeah, did I say it slows your bowels down? Sorry. And then like muscular problems, because the way that there's lots of cholinergic receptors in your muscles. That's how their muscles work, and that's actually how we paralyze you. We shut those receptors down in one fashion or another. So like if you're having surgery and you need paralysis, like the surgeon can't have you moving, then you get like super strong anticholinergic, basically. Or I mean, man, I'm fucking this up. So you get a like basically a drug that blocks off your cholinergic receptors. So it's not an anticholinergic specifically. It just blocks the receptors off. I know that's sort of a fine distinction, but yeah. So this is what you do. So like you just work them up, but you know, again, if you're just kind of like hallucinating and going nuts, there's not really time for that. If you, and I think they said this kid took like a whole shitload of it, like 14 Benadryls or something, which is a lot. Obviously a whole lot. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like such a ridiculous thing to do. But obviously worked out quite badly. But yeah, so if you, like, these people basically just make themselves massively uncomfortable. And like out of it. So, you know, the general feeling where people feel like tired or sleepy or something after you take a Benadryl is like mostly from the cholinergic effects of Benadryl. Like it just kind of slows you down a little bit. But if you take too much, then it, you know, that turns into like altered mental status and big problems. You remember learning an orgo? Do you? Because I don't. I don't remember anything about organic chemistry. That promptly became useless to me as soon as I graduated college. Histamine binds to a receptor and makes you sleepy. Interesting. That's cool. I actually didn't know that. Ow! Jesus, that hurt. I doubt it. Orgo textbook is wrong. That's probably correct. Since they just do cyclical lines. But yeah, the cholinergic effects definitely do make you sleepy. So both can be correct. Like it's kind of this weird line between like hyping your system up and then like shutting your brain down. So there are anticholinergics that don't cross your blood-brain barrier, and you'll have to learn about that in med school. But frankly, I've forgotten what most of those are, because that's not something that has a lot of value in clinical practice for me. Like, I think they're physostigmine and what's the other one? It's like what you, there are things called organophosphates, which is basically like fertilizer or pesticides, that you'll, like the buzzword question is, you know, there's like a crop duster or a farmer or something who comes in with these symptoms, and then you have to give them, you know, the antidote or whatever. It's like, what's wrong? And he just has poisoning from those things. Let's see if it says it in this. Management, so it's the opposite of this. But yeah, you'll get to enjoy that at some point. Oh man. Oh, med school. Good times. So yeah, that's the sort of the rub on Benadryl, right? It's actually like a super dirty drug. Makes old people nuts. I hate first year. Yeah. Yep, it's not great. But yeah, it's one of those things that you just kind of have to watch out for and like be aware of, that you are affecting those receptors. And you know, if you're not medical and that doesn't matter to you, just don't take a shitload of Benadryl and you'll be fine. So we touched on Tylenol earlier, and Tylenol's actually a really interesting drug. Last I was aware, we're not really sure how it works. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, man, just crack a neck, dude. Crack a neck, allergies will be gone forever. The Kirksville Crunch. That's hilarious. I love it. But yeah, so last I heard, Tylenol is like... Speaking of dirty drugs, Tylenol affects a lot of things, but I think it's a COX-3 receptor antagonist, and the COX is cyclooxygenase, COX. And that's what non-steroidal anti-inflammatories affect, so like aspirin, ibuprofen, naproxen. Those are common things, but COX-3 is an enzyme that those usually affect COX-1 and 2. I don't know of anything else that specifically affects COX-3. But that suggests that Tylenol should maybe have some like anti-inflammatory properties, which it doesn't really, as far as I know. But in any event, Tylenol can cause liver failure. So you don't want to take more than 3 grams of Tylenol per day. It used to be 4 grams when I was in residency, so that's actually a fairly recent change. Let's see. Do I want to hold on to this until it gets that chill? But yeah, so no more than 3 grams of Tylenol per day. It's actually a pretty effective drug. Like, most people, you know, poo-poo Tylenol because it's really, like, by itself, it's sort of weak sauce. But the fact that it affects different receptors and everything else makes it really useful. Because you can add it into, like... so there's a, I guess you'd say, philosophy or strategy in anesthesia that called multimodal pain management. And that basically means you use a lot of different methods, including drugs from different classes that affect different receptors, to manage somebody's pain, instead of just like throwing pain pills at them. So you can hit, like, there's atypical calcium channel blockers like gabapentin, there's MDMA, or sorry, NMDA, MDMA, thinking salaries. NMDA receptor antagonists like ketamine, methadone, you know, all sorts of different, the COX receptors, all of that stuff. So you use like smaller doses of all these things to cover all of these like pain receptors, so you minimize side effects but maximize pain control. A concierge practice in the Dallas suburb. DOA is an active title? No way, man. Do it. You should totally do it. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you're going to open a concierge practice, yeah, do it in a wealthy part of town, man. In a city with lots of people who have money. Why would you not do that? Ice Nova from Final Burst location of Place Cascades cast. I don't know, I'm kind of tired of this. I think I'm just going to go combine this with my ideal staff. Academic medicine would be purgatory. I can't disagree with you there, man. I can't imagine myself ever doing academic medicine. It sounds terrible. It sounds absolutely awful. Alright, we're gonna do a geode. Let's freaking go. Combine crucible trees. Always ignite. Wow, that's a lot of resistances. Jesus. AoE. Uncorrupted unique. Yep. Oh, did I already choose this one? Oh, that's cool. Okay. Yep. Rock on. Wait, did I clear this? Did I finish this map? I guess so. Okay. So yeah, Tylenol. Yep. Family medicine, academics. Ugh. No thanks. So Tylenol is metabolized in your liver, like most things. So it is metabolized mostly by one enzyme, and I cannot remember which one it is. So there's a system of enzymes in your liver that metabolize stuff called the cytochromes. And cytochrome P450 is the one that does pretty much everything, but there's a whole bunch of different subtypes of P450. And I don't remember which subtypes metabolize Tylenol. I think it's 2E1 and... what's the other one? Yeah, I can't remember. The reason I remember 2E1 is that's also what metabolizes ethanol. which is why it's bad to drink and take Tylenol. Let's see. What's the other one? We're learning. Let's see. Does it inhibit cytochrome P450? Okay. There we go. Oh, Jesus. That's a little much. Let's see. 2E1 and 2A6. That's it. I think that's the other one. So, in any event, one of those metabolizes Tylenol to like a chemical that's toxic. It's toxic to your liver. And usually that's fine, because it just kind of, you know, keeps metabolizing the toxic stuff, and it doesn't really have much opportunity to cause problems. But if you either drink a bunch of alcohol, so 2E1 is the cytochrome that metabolizes Tylenol to the, like, you know, non-toxic thing. And the vast majority of Tylenol under normal circumstances is metabolized by that. For obvious reasons, right? Like, if you're poisoning yourself every time you're taking Tylenol, then clearly it wouldn't be a drug that you use. So, if you take a bunch of, or if you drink a bunch with Tylenol, then that enzyme, the cytochrome P450-2E1, is occupied metabolizing the alcohol as well. So therefore, more of the Tylenol gets shunted through the toxic pathway. So if you just take a shitload of Tylenol, then all of your 2E1 is going to be occupied, and then will get more toxic metabolite, and so you put yourself in liver failure. So there are a lot of people who try to commit suicide by taking tons and tons of Tylenol. And I am here to tell you, as I sort of alluded to earlier, that that is a freaking bad idea, beyond just the fact that suicide is a bad idea. Because a lot of the time it doesn't work. So basically you just make yourself catastrophically sick and you get an emergency liver transplant. And when a transplant is not a planned thing, that means that you just kind of take whatever organ comes your way. And that might not be a great organ that's really well matched to you. Liver failure is generally a very slow, terrible way to die. Because basically you just feel like complete shit as your body shuts down. And so you essentially make sure that that's going to happen to you as your donated organ, you know, slowly withers as they do. So I think a transplanted liver usually lasts, like, you know, assuming all goes well, you know, for a successful operation and stuff, usually lasts like 10 to 15 years or something like that. So then you get to do it again. Then a liver transplant is a huge surgery. Huge surgery. So, assuming that you know, are successful enough in your suicide attempt to make it to that point, but not quite successful enough to not make it there, if you catch my drift, you're gonna be hurting. You signed yourself up for a real bad life. Uh-oh. That's bad. Fuck. Oh no. My wife just texted me, fuck. That's never good. That's never good. I can't believe I didn't die. So yeah, don't take a lot of Tylenol. It's bad for you. And you know, I honestly don't know about a whole lot of studies regarding chronic Tylenol use. So like, what happens if you take, you know, 3 grams of Tylenol every day for, you know, your entire life? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know if that leads to liver failure. Probably not, but it's not something I would recommend doing. You know, like anything else, these meds are meant to be taken just as needed, right? So yeah, not to be messed with, even though people kind of think of Tylenol as, you know, this like nothing drug, it doesn't really do anything. It'll still kill you. And even if that's your goal, you can pick better ways. Don't do that to yourself. But yeah, if I, like, when I was in the ICU, I would say at least, like, 3-ish people a month admitted to the ICU, with, you know, liver failure because of Tylenol overdose. Better ways to study micro without sketchy. Yeah, I didn't really have a problem with micro. Like, I think we were talking about this, right? Talking about this in Discord. Speaking of which, if you're listening and are not a member of the Discord, type !Discord and join us. We have fun. It's an interesting little community where we play games and talk about weird stuff like this. Killing yourself with Tylenol, apparently. Yeah, micro, I thought it was buzzword heavy enough that, you know, just kind of like reading some slides and reading some review books was like fine. You got all your micro questions right? Oh man, look at you go. That's huge. Good for you, dude. Passive skill tree to unique item. Cool. Forgot to bring my unique item. Now pray for me here. Pray for me that I get something cool. Pillar of the Caged God. So this, I'm choosing this one, Pillar of the Caged God, because I could potentially... yeah, my daughter just woke up. Bummer. You can potentially increase the damage of this dramatically. And I've always sort of liked the idea of making a strength stacking character, so hopefully I get some attack speed on the tree and some flat physical damage. Let's see what we get. Come on, baby. Alright, let's see. Lightning damage. No! Let's see. Oh, wow. Crit chance and crit multi. Ooh, that's pretty good. Stealing power charges? Unaffected by shock while channeling. Oh, wow. Increased attack speed. Scorch enemies. Ooh, this is a really good tree. I guess you kind of have to go this way, though. His attack speed and Scorch is insane. God, I wish that was Flat Fizz. If that was Flat Fizz, I would have just, like, freaking creamed myself right here. Ah, oh, so close. So close to amazing. Huh. Man, 30% increased attack speed is really good, even at the cost of 20% global damage. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Okay then, Pillar of the Caged God. Okay then. Oh, you know what? I fucked up. I should have picked up the items that I wanted. Oh, there's nothing left here. Okay, cool. I'm merging the trees from this, like, random-ass staff. But I have to make sure that I don't do this in the wrong order and destroy this very expensive staff that I would like to keep. Alright, so other fun things that people can do with over-the-counter medicines. So, you ever heard of robo-tripping? Like drinking a ton of Robitussin and hallucinating? That's a thing. That is a thing. And the reason that's a thing is that the like antitussive, the cough medicine in Robitussin is dextromethorphan. And that is in the same class of drugs as ketamine and PCP. So yeah, it's an NMDA receptor antagonist. So if you drink a lot of it, you go nuts. You hallucinate. You have lots of psychotropic effects. Let's see. Destroying the top item in the process. Alright, so that's the top item. Random ass white staff with a bunch of pretty awesome tree nodes. Let's forge it. Melt that bitch down. Give it to me, baby. What that means, though, is you can actually take... Ooh, it's mutated into another. Okay, so I got... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so good. So good. Oh, so good. That's exactly what I wanted. Wow. Okay, so pretty good luck with the forge here, I would say. Damn. Nice. Well, I'll take that any day. Fuck, now I get to craft that. Okay, cool. Solid effort, Forge. Solid effort, Forge. Oh, that's so good. I'm pumped about that. It's so good. But yeah, so we mentioned multimodal pain control. So there's a whole bunch of buzz about ketamine as like some crazy-ass super drug these days. You can take... So DXM is available as a prescription, but like cough syrup, if you can get just pure dextromethorphan, which is probably possible. Most cough syrups have like a whole bunch of different ingredients. It's ridiculous. Like if you go to the, you know, the like cough and cold aisle, basically there's like 6 different ingredients that they put in all of those. So there's Benadryl, phenylephrine, dextromethorphan, guaifenesin, which is Mucinex, Tylenol, and let's see, is there anything else? Probably chlorpheniramine. That's another antihistamine. So, yeah, like literally every single thing will have some combination of those ingredients. I basically guarantee it. If you want to test it, go check it out. I might be forgetting like one, but yeah, they're not very creative. But I think you can just get straight up DXM. But if you do, you can take that as like, you know, a pain control modality. That's kind of a sort of weird backdoor way to do it, but it'll work. Shit, I wish that was flat fizz. Oh, so wish that was flat fizz. Fuck. So I wonder how you price check these. Okay, I guess you don't. I guess you don't. So I'm gonna put this up and just see if anybody recognizes that this is awesome. Because it is. It is fucking awesome. And then I'm gonna try it again. But I might use a Marohi Urki instead. That was like Emperor's Vigilance is what I would, you know, choose to use, but that's what everybody would choose to use. So we're gonna go against the grain and create some cool shit that maybe other people have not considered. Yeah, it's just gonna get sold. I don't think I have enough cash to buy a Moroi right now, though. Yeah. That's... Kirik, what's up? Alright, what you got for me, brah? Shaper Guardian map. How much is that? Cool, for 3 chisels? Shit, nice. Are there any maps that I haven't completed here? I have one white map that I haven't completed. Yeah, I think it's really cool that DXM is an NMDA receptor antagonist. I don't really think about it that way, but it is indeed. Gia Beach. Okay, well, that blows. What's in my map options here? Yeah. Ooh, defeat the Elder's Guardian. I just might. Ackham's Nightmare, which I have not done. Anything here I haven't done. I think I gotta take the... Oh, fuck, those are... That's corrupted. Slay the Rogue Exiles in the Temple map, huh? Can't inflict exposure. Ooh, that's bad for me. That's where I get a huge chunk of my damage. Maybe I'll just do this. Unique bosses are possessed. That's great. Yeah, I'll just do that. I don't... Yeah. Yeah, that'll be a huge damage hit for me. I don't know if I want to do that. I would also like to not die, so I can get level 91. I've been level 90 forever. Because I'm like exploring the league content now, like my character's good enough, and I'm, you know, faltering and kind of getting my ass kicked intermittently. Fully channeling the Crucible and Tier 16 maps is probably not a great idea, unless your character is freaking ridiculous, by the way, in case anyone was curious. Oh, did I level up Clarity? Damn it. Oh, well. Alright, so we got DXM, we got Tylenol, Benadryl. Oh, here's one. Water. We've all heard of somebody dying from water, right? If you haven't, it happens. You can totally do that. When I was, I think I was in, I can't remember if I was in college or med school. I think I was in med school when this happened, like maybe just started med school. There was a kid who died in a college hazing ritual where they made him drink 5 gallons of water. So he just like slammed 5 gallons of water in a night and died. And the reason you die from that is that your sodium gets all fucked up. So you basically dilute yourself, your cells can't work. And your brain, like, you can seize, you can have all sorts of huge problems happen. But like basically you can have brain swelling because it's, you know, basically your brain literally gets waterlogged and swells with all the fluid in it. And that's real fucked up. And you have lots of problems from that. And you can have what's called a uncle herniation, which is where basically your brain squishes itself out of your skull and you die real fast when that happens. People are, well, you can drink gallons of water in a day. Like, if you spread it out over the course of a day, I mean, probably not 5 gallons. If you drink 5 gallons a day regularly, you'd probably be real fucked up unless you were, you know, unless you're like a pro athlete, like training real hard and sweating it out or something. But yeah, I think I'd probably drink like 2 gallons a day. Do you have 2 functioning kidneys? Why don't you trust them? Exactly. It's true. It's true. Why don't you trust them? Quarterstaff, what? Interesting. You know what? Yeah, I think I want to actually start working on this staff. So this staff is going to be the one that I just fused over here. Is going to be the one that I use for my next character. I don't think I really need anything in particular for this one. So we're going to go more cast speed, which is freaking crazy. Crazy shit. Man, I wish this still had the chill on it. Oh, wait a second. What? Wait, I already have this? Oh, I just had to choose that? Oh, that's cool. I've never fused an item before. Okay, we're gonna stop there. I don't really want lethal. I will follow my own advice. Ah, lovely. Yeah, there's a huge step up in difficulty from brutal to lethal. Right, did I get my... Nope, didn't get the forge dudes. So yeah, if you dilute yourself, you die. It happens. It's weird to think about that. You can also poison yourself with oxygen while we're at it. If you breathe 100% oxygen, you start like creating, like oxygen's actually like really reactive, and so you start damaging your cells, creating what we call free radicals, which you may have heard about. It can damage your DNA, damages your cells. And like over the long term, if you have somebody who's like on a ventilator or something for, you know, a week or longer, then that could actually make a big difference. Is ozone therapy dangerous? I don't know anything about ozone therapy, actually. Probably. I mean, I'm sure it would have the same effect, basically, right? But ozone is like hugely reactive, right? That's a totally unstable molecule. That's a good question, though. Let's look that up. I'm interested now. Ozone therapy, oxidative stress. Boom. Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Dr. Oz says it works, so you know it's good for you. Prevention. So I guess... Huh. Okay. Let's see. Oh, shit. Somebody want my stuff. We want 9 deafening essences. Okay. Please give me money. So that's interesting. Like, what it sounds like is basically they're taking advantage of the fact that it's reactive and, like, making it so the existing free radicals react with the ozone. It's kind of cool. What'll they think of next? Where is it? There it is. Thank you. Oh, I gained a level. I didn't even notice that. Holy shit. That's actually a big deal. Because now I can get an anima stone, which will help me immensely. And why did I go back in this portal when I'm reading this stuff? Okay. So, radiotherapy, chemotherapy, attempt to kill tumor cells, blah, blah, blah. Free radicals result in oxidative stress and further damage to healthy tissues. So, ozone therapy can induce a controlled oxidative stress able to stimulate an adaptive antioxidant response in healthy tissue. Okay, so this is amusing to me because so much of cancer treatment right now is basically killing the cancer less than it kills you. So right now we're talking about inducing controlled damage in your tissues, so the uncontrolled damage doesn't kill your tissues worse than that. Great. I maintain that, like, in a couple decades, we're gonna look back on chemotherapy and be like, what in the flying fuck were we doing to these people? And like, here, get your shot, get your IV infusion, your cancer is pretty much gone. Modulation of free radicals and antioxidants by ozone therapy was associated with decreased chemotherapy-induced toxicity. Okay, sure. What is Dr. Oz promoting it for, though? Like, if it's something Dr. Oz has anything to say about, he's probably not talking about, like, chemo, right? He's telling you to, like, eat some ozone with your flaxseed or something every morning. I refuse to Google Dr. Oz and give him engagement, though. You don't know if he prevented, he just assumed. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, Dr. Oz makes me furious. That guy's a bitch. One of, like, the cardiothoracic surgeons I work with actually knows him. Like, knows him personally. And he's like, yeah, I don't know what happened to him. he used to be a reasonable person. so much. Yeah, he was, that was the word that he used. He was like, yeah, he was a talented guy. But I guess shilling, you know, random pop medicine to desperate housewives is a lot more satisfying and lucrative. So, more power to him, I guess. Pseudoscience pays better than real science. I think we found that out in the pandemic. It certainly gains a lot more attention. Yeah, if you're constantly willing to sell out and just tell people what they want to hear, then man, your life is gonna be great. If you're selling stuff. Don't you dare stop me from selling my supplements, yeah. I mean, dude, I'm not one to talk. I can't judge. I had an IV infusion business. But in my own defense, I did tell people, like, you really don't need these vitamin infusions more than, like, once a year, honestly. Like, if you're healthy, your body's taking care of all this shit for you. Ooh, face breakers. What are they? 621. Lame. Yeah, I do have an IV and Botox business. I haven't done anything with it since the pandemic, honestly. That pretty well shut us down. But, yeah, it was great. It's super easy and lucrative. It's just like money printer, dude. People are lining up. People line up for that shit. So after the first shutdown, you know, where like everything fucking shut down. And then like that got lifted and everything kind of came back online. I was turning down 5 appointments a day for probably 2 weeks at least. And it's sort of slowly started to trickle off after that. But man, like people were all about it. Absolutely all about it. Alright, what do we got now? Anything that I can actually use? Yeah, 4 strong boxes for 5 chaos? Fuck yeah, let's do it. Wow, I got a bunch that I haven't used. Ritual altars. Why is that 6 chaos? Yeah, whatever. Can't complain too much, I guess. Yeah, ADHD and weight loss. If you're gonna do it, man, if you're gonna sell out, just like go whole hog, man. Don't hold back. My wife's trying to convince me to do that. Do the weight loss clinic thing. You know, just prescribe people Ozempic and Wegovy and stuff. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but let's see. Was anesthesia not lucrative enough? It is. It is. But I mean, if I could automate a business and just like employ a nurse to give people a shot in the arm, you know, or my wife, for instance, she is a nurse. Like that would be, that's nice, you know? That's a nice thing nice supplemental income. Mad money sort of deal. For a while, she was kind of having like an identity crisis, you know, and like my first kid was getting ready, you know, he's like in school and she has like all her days free for the most part. She's like, what am I gonna do with my life? And was, you know, freaking out about that. And now we have a baby, so she gets to, you know, stall on that talk for a few years. But yeah, it's enough. Yeah, I make enough money. But why not more? I want to retire, bro.
Another milk.
I want to work as little as possible. Ah! Fuck. Ah, these bitches. Yeah, if I can set myself up, like, what I really want is passive income sources. So if I can set myself up with some passive income now and, like, automate that later, that is absolute money. 74 life, yeah, it's...
If you think I'm going to...
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, where's everybody else? Oh, there's Silic.
You kill so good, excellent. Hard to make new friends with this.
Yeah, I'm always kind of like looking for ways to get ahead in that regard, man. The black door. You want to do GI path, but the slides are on Google Glass Monocle? You just say diagnoses out loud. That's awesome. Oh man, technology. What'll they think of next? Speaking of automating things, right? Oh, I have to go kill all these fuckers. That's right. Son of a bitch. Yeah, pathology. That might be a profession that gets dramatically modified by AI, the dawn of AI. I mean, you'll still need somebody to kind of double check for sure, but I feel like that. Yeah, as if their job market needed more pressure, exactly. Dude, when I was graduating, there was like real concern that no pathologists were going to be able to find jobs. There's just like zero market for pathology, which is crazy to me. But yeah, like one of my co-residents' husbands was a pathologist, or he was a pathology resident, graduated the same year that we did, and he was like, he couldn't find anything. And I mean, to be fair, that year the market for anesthesia was really bad too, but not that bad. But she was legit concerned that they were going to have to move just for him to find a job. That sucks. Hey, what the fuck? Yeah, I bet you that's gonna kind of evolve the way of teleradiology, where you just sort of have a centralized service that you know, send your shit to, and they just look at it remotely. There we go. That's all I need. Ooh, he's geode. Sweet.
When I'm ready, I'll be off
That's something I would be very interested in doing. I know I've talked before about, you know, potentially, like, I thought about doing teleradiology, even though I have, like, zero interest in radiology. Just for the lifestyle. So I've had, sort of, I read a lot on Reddit about people who are career changers, because that kind of interests me. I have negative interest in radiology. Yeah, I pretty much do as well. But I think career changing into medicine is like fascinating, because it's like it's such a huge grind and so much time commitment that somebody who's already had a previous career is like, you know, to start this job in your like mid to late 30s just sounds terrible. Like, I was 31. I felt, you know, pressed enough to like get my life off the ground.
To kill me. A true servant of God. I'm not a deal's a deal.
Cover them all. But like one thing that I find over and over is most people talk about like some sense of fulfillment in their job. Like it's not fulfilling. You're in a corporate job. You're just, you know, churning out money for the greedy overlords and stuff. 34, 35. Better than being the bartender? Yes. Yeah, bartender's not exactly the most forgiving job. You can make a shitload of money though. I know several bartenders who are easily into six figures. Like I work at busy places with, you know, affluent clientele, and they're just crush it, but they're busy. They haul ass every day. Yeah, exactly. Medicine doesn't make money for adverts, right? Like, what do you think you're getting into? And, you know, there's like this sort of almost like white knight thing where they're like, I want to make a difference for my patients, and I want to be fulfilled. Fulfillment is the word that comes up over and over. And, like, man, so much of what I do is just stalling for some dude who has smoked and drank himself to death, and now he needs his leg cut off, or his aorta sewed up, or his heart replugged. You know, there's just like all this shit that we're doing to these people who have like completely trashed their bodies over, you know, multiple decades, and they don't give a fuck. You're just like, you're just there fixing them up because they showed up with chest pain, or like their foot's black. You know, they do not care. What you do for them, they, you know, they might give a thank you, but they really just don't care, because they're not gonna rehab, they're not gonna take care of themselves. Like, if it's fulfillment you want, I mean, in like primary care where you get to know your patients and stuff, they're not gonna go home and take their blood pressure meds. They don't care. Most of them don't care. Job stability. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, to me, it's all about job stability. Like a basically guaranteed good income. You know, there's a nice like respect/power element to it. Though that is certainly not as substantial as it may have been in, you know, decades past. But, like, and it is cool, like, knowing everything. That's one thing that I really like. It's just you have to know so much to do this job well. I think that's super cool. You just have access to like so much practical information. And it is practical too, you know? So, like, I think that's awesome. But as far as like job satisfaction, man, like if I didn't have bills to pay, or if I could pay my bills independently, I'd quit tomorrow. I don't give a shit. Like, I am working to live 100%. I don't need, like, you know, it's great to like go to work and enjoy the people I'm around, which is definitely the case. Like, I like everybody I work with, even most of the surgeons. Like, the nurses are cool. Like, I don't have any problems, man. It's a great working environment. But I'd like I said, I'd say goodbye tomorrow if I could. That's not where I get my kicks. Like, as soon as I walk out the door, man, that place disappears.
This will go quick.
Impressive display, warrior, but not enough.
Where I sell brisket and drink beer, I do that all the time. I do that as much as I possibly can. Like, I've always enjoyed entertaining, so like, you know, we've got a bunch of friends that I grew up with who have stayed in town, and so then they've like all got kids roughly the same age as mine, and so you know, they'll come over and hang out, have a few beers, and just chill, eat some food, get drunk, enjoy yourselves. That's exactly what I did not want to do. Whoops. Ow, 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 fuck. That portal. But yeah, I definitely, like, I definitely want the lifestyle. No question. Mana, no. Actually. Yeah. If it was tier 1, I'd maybe put that.
Got my eye on you.
Blessings.
Yeah, I don't understand that. And I feel like it's kind of a naive position to hold, honestly. Like you're gonna put yourself through hell, and you're gonna get there, you know, get to being an attending and be like, oh yeah, this isn't really any better. I mean, I guess you can at least like put a name and a face with the people, you know, for whom your job is not fulfilling. It's not just like a bunch of reports you're submitting or something. You're actually like, oh yeah, it was Mrs. Smith, and she wasted my time because she's not taking her meds. That's great. Thanks, Mrs. Smith. Have a great day. Let's see. Oh, so I guess they don't all have... Interesting. So maybe I've just gotten really lucky. See, my other geodes have had uncorrupted unique item, so the unique item thing, and then this one has a passive skill tree from a non-unique item. And all of my geodes so far have had that, but this one doesn't. Huh, maybe I've just been really lucky. That is interesting. Do I want to keep doing this? 60% stun duration. Skill effect. Yeah, probably not. I think we're done actually. So increased cast speed, more cast speed. Jesus, that is so good. Now I just need to roll it well. Did I ever play WoW? No, I didn't. I didn't. One of my good friends from med school and a roommate actually was hardcore into WoW, and I just never got into it. I had plenty of time to. I did nothing but like drink, and I've actually related this notion to somebody else earlier today. I basically did nothing but drink and game and exercise for like January through May of my fourth year. Addicted to WoW but hated it? So I guess addiction is the correct word then, huh? That sucks. Actually, I think World of Warcraft is the first game that I heard the context of addiction used. Or, what's a better way to say that? That's the first video game for which I've heard that addiction is a problem. Skinning hides was for your guild was a part-time job. It's probably more than a part-time job. You played like most people do. Yeah, like they had, my roommate was pro about it, man. They had like meetings where they'd interview people for their guild. Like they'd fly people like across the country for interviews and shit. It was crazy. And they'd all, like, everybody was super tight. Like they were all really good friends. And one of them, I think, was like a CEO of some, you know, like medium to large company. So he was just crushing life. And he'd fly them all out to like go hang out and fuck around. Specialty's my roommate. He's a pediatrician, actually. He's a pediatrician in Oklahoma City.
Die and be reborn.
Oh, wow. Well, he wasn't kidding about the whole die part. And hey, I'm reborn. Damn, that was rough there, man. Oh, of course. Yeah, peds, man. No thanks, dude. I couldn't do it. Couldn't do peds. That's way too much work for way too little money. And I guess I don't really understand the motivation. Like, if you want... I mean, like... my soapbox has been stood on many times on this stream, but you know, given that med schools don't really tell you anything about how much money your potential profession is gonna make, I can see how some people would get sort of trapped into that, be like, yeah, I want to do pediatrics, and then they find out like, oh, well, I could go to AA school and actually make double, like, just as much money, you know, like, well, maybe I should do that instead. And then the killer is you can choose to work in a pediatric hospital. So I don't understand why people don't say like, oh, well, yeah, I want to do pediatrics, but I'm gonna go work, you know, at a pediatric place. Like, I'm gonna do surgery and go into pediatrics. And that's maybe kind of a bad example because pediatric surgery is like crazy competitive, as I understand it. But like emergency medicine, go pediatrics. Anesthesia, go pediatrics. Like, those are one-year fellowships. I don't even know if emergency medicine is a fellowship. It probably is, but... Where's Uranus when you need him? oh god. Bad time to scratch my mouth. Yeah, just like choose to treat children. I don't get it. Ouch. I know there are hospitalist fellowships for pediatrics. That's so damning of the training and the profession in general. Like, why would you possibly do a residency and then not be prepared to take care of children in the hospital? Oh, for adults? Really? Like for internal medicine? That's such shit. That's the whole point, right? That is the whole point. Oh, for family. Okay, I mean, that makes more sense, but still makes none. Like, I think that's more justifiable. But that's still terrible. Yeah, family medicine can do hospitals medicine. I mean, I don't know. That just seems so silly. Like, how can you, like, have a residency and then say, oh, yeah, you're actually not qualified to do that. Sorry. Like, why are we doing residency then? I do not understand. Fuck. Free labor and more red tape? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I know why. I know why they're doing it. It's because they want to squeeze an extra year of, like, say, cheap labor out of people. And that's so shitty. I mean, to me, that's just like, well, you graduated residency, but to actually do your job, now you have to train for another year. What? Like, what are you even there for? I think that's a damn shame. That's really shitty of him to do. Alright, give me my energy shield back so I can kill that. Thank you. Man, this dude is tearing up. I gotta get through this. Gotta kill him. There we go. Oh, well, he left me a nice little gift. Okay, blow up. Do it. Yeah, when I first heard of the pediatric hospitalist thing, I was like, you guys, that sucks so much for you. It sucks so hard. Like, if you want to do anything but just, like, be a clinic shill, you have to do a fellowship. God. Man, yeah, why would you sign up for that? I just don't get it. But yeah, and this, like, my roommate, back to my roommate, he was, like, super smart. Scored crazy well. Just wanted to do pediatrics. I mean, good for him, right? Good for him. Sticking to his guns, but at what price, Victory, man? That ain't me. If I was gonna be making $200,000, I would quit this shit pronto. No chance would I do this job for that much money. Let's see, these are all chances to the abysses. Okay. So I don't know if that's, like, is this actually good? All monsters is magic for each pit prior in the abyss. Okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go all in on Abyss and see what happens. Fuck it. Let's go.
Long day.
Oh yeah, I forgot I actually just, like, purchased that from him. Contains rituals, okay. Can't regenerate? Yep, we're gonna change that one. Because I basically can't live if I don't regenerate. Excellent. Okay. Race course map. Nice. Now I picked up these things to identify because I like identifying them. Fun.
Exile.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised that there hasn't been, like, open backlash against the, you know, creation of those totally worthless fellowships, but the people who would have to cause the backlash are the ones who are probably benefiting the most from it, so yeah, maybe that's not gonna happen. Oh, I didn't bring anything for the frickin' forge. Interesting. What do I want to do about that? What do I want to do? Do I want to use my portal? Yeah. Portal. It's not that big a deal. I'm not planning on dying. So let's see. You know, maybe I'll start working on a scepter for myself instead of the pillar. Where's that pillar? Oh yeah, I put it up for trade. I forgot about that. It's off. Boop. Brutal. There we go. I always love that huge explosion of dudes. Ow. Oh, so I was thinking I'm coming full circle here. I'm getting distracted. My wife texting me and all this randomness. I had lunch with one of my friends who was a teacher. So he taught math for 10 years or so. And recently went into private sector, basically crunching numbers, because he has a master's in stats. And so, yeah, he's like a statistician for a life insurance company now. And he was like, this is boring and not really, you know, it's like not bad, but it's not really what I love to do. Like, I really do enjoy teaching, but I make 60% more money. I work from home and I work fewer hours. It's like there's no contest. Like why did I not do this earlier? And that's kind of like, I sort of feel that way about people who career change into medicine. And I mean, granted, they might not be making, you know, the money part of the equation might be in their favor to switch. But like sometimes doing the job that isn't the most like glamorous or rewarding is what you should be doing. Because like voluntarily going through residency when you already have an existing career just doesn't sound like a good plan at all. Didn't want to have less of a knowledge base than mid-levels when treating patients? What do you mean? Hit reference to like having the hospitalist thing or what? Compared to being Dr. Pat. Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I mean I don't blame you. Oh, as a mid-level. I thought you said less than a mid-level. Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I think if you're gonna, like, you're going to do something healthcare, and, you know, that's kind of your mentality, like, you want to know everything, then, I mean, the choice is kind of obvious, right? But you gotta do the whole thing. But if you're doing it for those reasons, like, that you think you're gonna be, you know, there's not like something critically wrong with your other job other than you just don't feel, you know, like what you're doing is worthwhile. I mean, yeah, man, the med spa thing is the way to go. I did that, and we had like, I've forgotten how much, like, we kind of really pumped the brakes at the end of our first year. I think honestly, I was just burning out. I was doing it all myself. And my wife kind of did some of our like social media marketing and stuff, but I was doing all the legwork. Like, you know, I was working a lot more at my job then, kind of getting shit on, quite frankly, which I know now in retrospect. But like I was doing all the calls. We didn't really ever have anybody working with us unless we were at like a festival or something. Like we got a booth at a event. So it was all me, and I was like, yeah, I don't care to mess with this. It just sort of stopped being involved. And I think we still did like, man, like $50,000 or $60,000 in sales the first year. It was crazy. Make Pat wife wear Pat Med Spa yoga pants. Dude, we have like branded merch and stuff. We had like chairs that we'd bring to all these events, and you know, shirts and stuff. I wore them around. They'd be like, "What's that?" Like, that's my company. I did this. Come on in, we'll give you an ID. I mean, it's like, it's so easy, dude. And the turnover, once you get a big clientele, and just crush those Botox shots. Like a Botox treatment takes a minute at most. Yeah, most docs who do it are family practice, which is kind of why I had a huge leg up. Because really most family practice doctors don't know a whole lot about like fluids and resuscitation, and you really don't need to do that business, but it definitely helps sell it. Cash-based O&M docs have a year waiting list. Yep, I believe that. 100% believe that. They need to hire somebody on. Go talking to him, man. Get on board. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Yeah, I mean, I think cash-based is honestly probably the way of the future for like healthy young people. I think subscription-based medicine is going to take over. Because healthcare is just like way too expensive. I think most, like, I mean, we already kind of have that with healthcare savings accounts, right? So I think a lot of younger people are probably going to be like, you know what, fuck it, I'll pay $50 a month or whatever to have a subscription service and, you know, pay a little bit more if I do actually need, like, an emergency surgery or whatever. Because the chance of that is so low. Wow, so I killed the boss without even knowing he was there. Nice. Volcano map with an extra 3 essences. That's cool.
Good work again.
Alright. What do we have here? Painseeker, huh? A very low rolled Painseeker, except for the damage. Damage is quite good. But it's still trash. Wander's Clasp, also trash. Alright, around the horn I go. To this bad boy. Actually, do I want to come up that way? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, yeah. So this is way fewer points. I guess I could have probably just looked at that and told, but
When I'm ready, and not before.
slowly getting all this Atlas progression. Alright, in you go. I will get my points. I will. I will get them. But yeah, I would like to fire back up my business at some point. But I mean, that's not going to happen for a while with kid number 2 out and about. There's just too much shit to do. And I'm not sure I want to deal with employing anybody, like, straight out of the bat, out of the gate, that is. Even though I know of several people who would be very good at it and are interested. That's one nice thing about working in an OR, is I know lots of nurses who are, like, really good at starting IVs and getting good at their job and all that stuff.
Gift for murdering.
Something that most IV services suffer from is they just, like, hire people who are like, yeah, I can start an IV. And they're not really all that good at it. Like, a common complaint I heard was like, man, last time I used one of these services, they had to stick me like 3 times. I'm like, you're a bodybuilder. I mean, everybody misses, but like, damn. This is like 1 out of 10 difficulty. Oh, I'm not selling things. I want to sell.
Salah.
That's not worth anything. Alright. Get out of my
More
inventory,
knives.
please.
Hey,
Did he have anything else for me? Iron Solitude. Sounds like a Van Damme movie or something.
stay vigilant.
Jean-Claude Van Damme is guy who kicks shit really hard in Iron Solitude. Sweet. Arsenal it is. Let's go. Give me mods that don't suck balls. Those do not suck balls. Okay. Cool. Nice. Let's rock this bitch, as Ben Folds would say. Sure, I'll do some tier 16 essences. Why not? Why not? god. Okay, well, that's one way to start it off. That guy's gonna be hard as fuck to kill. Oh no. Big explosion. Oh, there we go. Got one. Now there's another one. Good drive by, get my golems there, and explode. There you go. God, I do so much damage. I love it. Wow, that's a lot of life regen. Unfortunately, I have no use for it. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't, like, so I think my problem, so what I did with our business was mobile, our IV business. I'm still thinking about this. I'm processing. Our IV business was mobile, and so, like, we were going out to people's houses, and Kansas City's a huge city, so it ended up that we were, like, just coincidentally, all of the people who were using us were, like, on the fringes of the city, so we were driving all over the fucking place constantly. And, that was very tiring. So I think if we were to, like, redo it, it'd be an actual location. Yeah, there would be a place where we say, hey, come get your Botox shot. And really, I mean, that's the efficient way to do it anyway. Unless you're doing a party. Like, we would do Botox parties where we'd make, like, $2,000 to $3,000, like, profit, cash, in a night. Like, we had, at one point, we had this, oh man, I wish I had a picture of this. I think I might somewhere, but, my father-in-law and mother-in-law were staying with us, and we had this drawer where we kept all the cash. Like, lots of women would pay in cash because they didn't want their husbands to know that they were getting Botox. So they just pay in cash. And I don't know how their husbands didn't notice, like, $400 cash just, like, missing, but apparently that made sense to them, and I was more than happy to accept their payment. So, anyway, we had this drawer full of cash in our kitchen. And, my kid was like 3 years old and just like sitting in it, like he'd gotten it all out and was just sitting in like hundreds and 20s on the kitchen floor, just like mixing around, playing with them. Just like sitting in a pile of like probably a couple $1,000s. I have no idea how much money it is, but there were just like hundreds and 20s all over our kitchen floor. And my father-in-law walked in and was like, what in the hell is happening? I haven't had a cappuccino for a while, but I would. Do I play emulated games? I used to. I've played a lot of emulated games. What's going on, Scoots? How are you, man? Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, I used to, like, I cut my teeth on all the, like, old Final Fantasy games, especially, and then, like, a bunch of old Sega Genesis games. I don't know if you've ever heard of Shining Force. But there's a couple of games, like old, kind of campy RPGs that are really fun. So yeah, I emulated those, and I've put more than my fair share of time into emulators. I also had a PlayStation emulator too, it was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. I mean, it's a lot, like, I definitely enjoy the, you know, the sort of, like, tactile feel of, like, holding the old Super Nintendo controllers. And I had a functioning Super Nintendo until, like, 5 years ago, and I gave it to one of my friends, who's, like, a hardcore classic gamer. I gave it to him as a birthday present, because I just never played it. Triangle Strategy? No, I do not. I'm gonna look it up here in just a second. But yes, I would drink a cappuccino. I haven't for a long time, though. Triangle Strategy. Oh, is this like a tactics game? That's cool. Final Fantasy Tactics was amazing. Let's see. Technical event. Yeah, okay. Awesome. Yeah, well, I mean, that looks like something I would totally enjoy. Who's the publisher? Oh, it's Square. Okay. Yeah, that looks amazing, dude. I'll check that out for sure. I feel like a Nintendo Switch is probably something, like, people have been trying to convince me to get a Switch for a long time. It seems like it's probably coming, but I have zero free time right now. Basically, all free time that I have is, sacrificed sleep, pretty much. If one of my kids became a pharmaceutical lobbyist, oh, I don't care. Whatever. I would be glad that he had a good job. I don't give a shit.
How's the trade?
Yeah, that stuff doesn't bother me, man. Like I said earlier, I'm all about working to live. I don't care. If you want to sell out, go for it.
When I'm ready and not before.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a way of making a living. And I kind of look into that as like, somebody else would have that job. You know, that institution's not going to change anytime soon. There's hundreds of billions of dollars changing hands there. They are far too entrenched. Just like lobbying in general is like a part of American politics on both sides, right? That's just how it goes. You know, you get a topic or a industry that has enough money and or power, and somebody's gonna have a very vested interest in making sure that things go that industry or concept way. I mean, look at the gun lobbies, right? That's essentially like a way to sway like literally 30% of the votes in America, if not maybe more than that. We just talk about guns a whole fucking lot. Even though, like, we're the only developed country in the world who can't seem to figure this shit out. Everybody's still convinced that, like, our way is best. And I'm not saying I know the solution, but, there sure are a lot of examples to work from. But, because we have, lobbies and there's a lot of power involved in who controls the gun laws. None of that's gonna go anywhere. Ah. Duplicate. Where my golems at? There. A private citadel?
I want more. I want them all.
Bye, you heading out? I'm probably heading out pretty soon myself, actually. Might as well call it there. Have a good night, man. Appreciate you joining me. Good times, good times. Alright, well, I'm Milkman Al. I hope you guys had a great evening. I enjoyed myself. Enjoy your Friday. Hopefully your weekend goes well, and I will see you guys on Sunday. Have a good one. Don't forget to join Discord. I will see you very soon. Adios.